Hi, I hope you've had a good week and it will please God be a good Shabbat. This Shabbat ushers in the new month of Sivan, which begins on Sunday. Please God, it should be a month of health and blessings for all of us. You know, there's the joke of three captives that were set to be executed, a Frenchman, an Italian, and a Jew. And they were told that before they were to be executed, they could choose whatever they wanted for their final meal. The Frenchman, for his last meal, chooses some fine French wine and a fresh French baguette. And after giving him his meal, he was executed. The Italian requested a large bowl of hot Italian pasta. They honored his request and he was killed. And then the captors turned to the Jew and said, "What is it that you would like for your final meal?" And the Jew said, "I would like a big basket of strawberries." And they said, "Strawberries? Of all things, you choose strawberries? Strawberries aren't even in season." And the Jew says, "No, I'll wait, no problem." You know, sometimes it's all about timing. And one of the things I'm sensing is as the lockdown restrictions are starting to ease bit by bit, and slowly we are heading towards getting back to normal, whatever normal may mean these days. And on the one hand, people are very excited, longing to get back to work, to get the economy turning again, for kids to go back to school. We're all hoping for the day soon where we'll be able to see each other in person, in synagogue, at shul. But at the same time, I think people are starting to appreciate certain elements of the current lifestyle in lockdown and are worried about missing them once they're gone. It's definitely got its challenges. But perhaps there are those who appreciate the slower pace of life, or the lower expectations and the easier sense of lessened anxiety and pressure, the extra family time, perhaps the late mornings and the early evenings. Whatever it may be, it's possible that people are starting to realize that there are certain things which are on offer at the moment that are not going to be here for all that much longer, and starting to cherish them and make the most of them. You know, we are still counting the Omer. We are counting now the final week leading up to Shavuot. And it's a fascinating thing to think about. Why would we count time? We count each day and each week of the Omer. But time is one thing that doesn't need to be counted. Time passes whether we count it or not. And it doesn't matter if we do or don't count it. It doesn't pass any faster or any slower. Each day comes and goes, irrespective of if and how we count it. So of all things to count, why would we count the days and the weeks from Pesach till Shavuot? And obviously the message is for us to count it in order to make sure that we can make it count. For us to appreciate that which a day has to offer. Each day is an opportunity. Each day is a blessing. And we count it in order to be able to realize and to remind ourselves of the potential within each day. The Chofetz Chaim, a great sage, gives the following analogy. Not so applicable in today's day and age, but I think all of us have had an opportunity to buy a postcard when on holiday, write a letter and send it to a friend. And very often the same thing happens. You start writing in a big font, in big handwriting, still thinking about what it is that you want to send to your friend or family. And then as you reach the end of the postcard, the writing gets smaller and smaller and smaller as you go on, realizing how much more it is that you want to say until you turn over and you write in every corner of the postcard and finally send it off. Sometimes that's how life works. As young kids, we are carefree, thinking that there's all the time in the world to accomplish all our dreams. But as time goes on, we realize that the reality is our days on this world are numbered. And we need to make the most of each and every day, irrespective of the circumstances. Now that we're in lockdown, we need to make sure that every day counts. Every day has purpose. Every day has meaning. That is the message of the counting of the Omer. And with each level of lockdown, with each phase and stage in life, irrespective of the circumstances, it's incumbent upon us to make the most of it, to think about the timing, think about the time, and see how we can fill our days to the best of our ability. And it might be a little bit more challenging under the current circumstances, where we're not free to travel and do as we may wish. But nonetheless, the challenge and the responsibility is for us to make sure that each and every day is productive, each and every day is meaningful, and that we are better today than we were yesterday. I wish you Shabbat Shalom and Chodesh Tov.